I got a pretty good story for you guys. An accidental scam that happened to me this weekend. You can decide down below if you think it was a malicious scam or was it just a total freak accident. So check it out. I get an email from some dude telling me that he's got a pretty big collection. He wants me to come check it out. He said that it might take a full day, maybe even a couple days to check everything out. He just wanted to know the ropes, and I've done that on occasion. I've gone and showed people keys that they didn't know, or I do like a grading tutorial, stuff like that. That's honestly a great day for me. Anyway, he enticed me by saying that he's actually got several, he said, copies of Brave and the Bold 28, the first appearance of Justice League. Immediately I'm like, wait, you've got several copies of the first appearance of Justice League? And you're willing to pay me one of your copies? Hell yeah! I'll throw in a back massage. He even elaborated to say that they were actually fairly high grade. So immediately I'm totally in. It ended up being like an hour, 45-minute drive, which is earlier than I usually arrive for these types of things. It went all the way until 11 at night. We had breakfast, lunch, and dinner together. Yeah. Anyway, full all-day affair. I was going through all his stuff. Now, he was clearly a Marvel dude. He didn't care about DC at all. There was hardly any. But it also was like newer books with like some early 2000s books, a good amount of 90s, and then only a few things in the 80s. I think maybe the coolest thing he had, you know that Eclipse Miracle Man run? He had the full run of that up to issue 24, so the full, even those scarce final issues, he had it all. That was pretty cool, and they were all high grade. Weird oddball things like that, or like big Marvel books. He seemed really aware of his Spider-Man and his Hulk. He knew what that stuff was, but everything else I was showing him, that's a key, that's a key, that's a key, that's a key. But the oldest book I found was like from like 1984 in the entire lot. I would say like 70% of it was like books from the last 10, 12 years. So by 3 o'clock, I'm thinking to myself, okay, I haven't seen any Silver Age books, much less several copies of Brave and the Bold 28. Is he saving this for me later as payment at the end? Like, I don't really know. Some of you watching this are probably going to be saying, well, why didn't you ask for pictures up front? Dudes, if someone says they're going to give you a Brave and the Bold 28, the last thing I'm going to be is some asshole talking about, oh, I'd like to see the condition. No, you take what you can get, guys. I would take it if it was just coverless. So now into the evening, I asked him, like, hey, do you have any, like, Silver Age? Just to kind of prod the question out there, like, hey, where are these Brave and the Bold 28s? And he's like, no, man, like, the only thing I got is the Brave and the Bold. So I was like, yes, he mentioned them, awesome. And I forgot about it because it's like, okay, he's just going to show me them at the end or something. We went through probably 35 tightly packed long boxes full of stuff. It's now deep into the night. The fiance's mad at me for spending this long out there, and it's time to say my goodbyes. It's been an awesome full day of helping this dude out. I probably found him thousands of dollars worth of keys. So he's like, all right, man, let's get you set up. He goes around the corner, disappears for a bit. I'm waiting there, like palms sweating, just in sheer anticipation. I've never owned the first appearance of Justice League, so I'm super excited. He comes out with a binder. Good sign. Usually you put your biggest, best books in a special section. He pulls out these books, and they're all in Mylar. And he's like, here you go, man, Brave and the Bold 28, you're getting one. This dude proceeds to pull out a facsimile reprint of Brave and the Bold 28, which came out just a couple years ago. I actually felt my face get red. Dude, these are reprints. Where'd you get these? And he was like, oh, I got them as part of a trade. And he said that he got them as part of a trade with some dude that he met in like some parking lot somewhere. They made a deal just last year. I'm thinking to myself, I can barely stand, I'm so sore. And you just pulled out a book that's worth about $4. So he gets all embarrassed, which could have just been a show. It could have been. But I think the guy was legitimate. I think he genuinely didn't know. Now, granted, he had so many comics. When you have that many comics, you probably know what you have. So I'll never know for sure if he really did try to pull that one over me or if it was just an honest mistake. Believe it or not, guys, I know you're probably not going to think this. I think it was an honest mistake. After seeing his reaction, gauging him, I think he really was embarrassed. So no first appearance of Justice League for me. And he was like, look, dude, I can't believe this. This is such a mistake. He didn't want to part with all of his Marvel books and whatnot. The only one he wanted to give me was the Brave and the Bold 28, and unfortunately it was a fake. He ended up Venmoing me $200 for my time and the gas, and plus free food. So guys, that is the story of how I almost got a high-grade copy of the first appearance of the Justice League, only not at all. Am I bummed out? Of course. Can you even imagine your expectations of thinking you're going to get one of your top 10 books of all time only to find out that it's a 2020 or 2019 reprint? That is massively disappointing. When I do these services in the future, I think I'm going to be really upfront and say, hey man, we're doing a cash deal, or you're showing me any comic books that you're offering ahead of time. Oh well, hey man, lesson learned. Funny thing is, I was standing in a spot, just hunched over looking at comics on the table for so many hours that I'm just so sore, but oh well. Anyway, guys, as always, watch out for those true believers and facsimiles and all those reprints. They're reprints. And keep on hunting.